Hello there everybody, Rosanna here with some Rosy Glow magic for you, and this time I wanted to go into a video to explain the difference between the law of attraction, manifesting and co-creating. As I see these words used a lot and often they are misunderstood, so let us bring some love and light and consciousness to them. Just before we do that, what is Rosy Glow? Well, my name is Rosanna. I am the physical human that is bringing through the soul frequency, otherwise known as Rosy Glow. This is the soft pink flame of divine grace that allows, through the power of revelation, through epiphanies, through aha moments, us to see what we haven't been able to see before, to have the revelation that allows you to see past the blind spot, to allow you to let go easily of something that no longer serves you in your life, and therefore to make space for the very things that you say you want, that you desire, but that are not coming easily to you. So the soft pink flame is what I work with, and it is the frequency of compassion and divine love as well. So with that in mind, let's go straight into what law of attraction is. Law of attraction very simply is what you focus on grows. Now, something we need to actually clarify here, because what you focus on with your conscious mind is different to what your subconscious mind is focused on 90% of the time. And this is where affirmations, positive thinking, intention are said to be really powerful tools. And you know what they are, but if you are working just with 5 to 10% of your power, which is your conscious mind, and 90% of you, which is your subconscious, is not operating or focused on the same things that you are, there's going to be a constant antagonism. And this is why you'll hear people say, oh, positive thinking doesn't work, or it only brings you limiting results or limited results. The affirmations, again, they do a little bit of good, but then just as I think I'm winning, something bad happens again. And that will be the self-sabotage that is caused by the subconscious programming. Now, the subconscious programming is something we each inherit. It's different slightly for each of us, but we have societal conditioning, we have cultural conditioning, we have religious conditioning, we have the conditioning of where we were born into, basically. And there'll be socioeconomic conditioning, all sorts, basically. So this is what we inherit, and if we want to move beyond the limitations of that inheritance, then with love and with compassion we take the best and we leave the rest. And that involves a process of detoxifying from the conditioning we've inherited and then reprogramming that conditioning to align with our conscious will. That's when the law of attraction is very powerful for you. And as you set your conscious mind, which is the thinking part of you, in a particular motion, then you will start to get amazing results. Now let's move into what manifesting is, because manifesting, again, is like one of those words. Everything is a manifestation, okay? Anything that's in the physical form is a manifestation of an idea that then became something else. Now, something that grows in nature is not something that a human created, right? Unless we hybridized and we create something from nature that we then developed, which you could say most of the fruit and vegetables we have today are the result of that. Something like a tile, right? Something like a physical thing that a human has created from a resource that may be natural or may then be manufactured, may be man-made, is something that is going through more processing. So you can look at this in terms of food. You have natural food that grows off trees, or maybe you'll see an animal as a food source. And then you have food that is highly processed, that is coming from synthetic compounds, that is something that has been evolved a lot from its original form, not necessarily for the highest good of all. But manifestation is simply the process of something non-physical becoming physical. And we have a natural world that is already physical, that we are interacting with as human beings, right? Now, you will know that there are beings walking this earth with more consciousness about them than those who are walking around not thinking much beyond the need to eat, to go to the toilet, to feel warm. And we're all at different stages of evolution as human beings embodying our soul light here on earth. The ultimate aim of this earth is really for us to awaken to our soul consciousness, and this is where co-creating comes in, and to live as divine humans, to live as conscious beings, able to bring our soul wisdom in through accessing our heart consciousness and then allowing the heart to lead the mind rather than the mind leading the heart, because the mind on its own is simply the subconscious programming working for us with a little bit of conscious influence. When you descend into your heart, you can then ascend to divine mind, and this is the process that allows you to become a co-creator, something beyond simple manifesting and law of attraction. Now, what is a co-creator? Hi, I'm a co-creator. So a co-creator is a conscious being that is seeking to live from the highest perspective. Well, that's my interpretation, but the actual truth is it's anyone who is consciously co-creating. Now, you can consciously co-create from your higher self, or you could be driven by your programming, by your ego. And this is where I see people getting lost a little with what is the difference between an ego desire and a divine desire. Now, a divine desire is guided by your soul. An ego desire is governed by your conditioning, and usually that means by a need to control in order to feel safe. So we're looking to control outside circumstances in order to feel safe. When we are accessing our divine consciousness, then what we are doing is we're allowing the desires within us to motivate actions, to motivate manifestations in the physical reality that are a result of us wanting to share our joy and our pleasure with the world. It is never going to be that our divine desire is to cause suffering to someone else, or to anything on this planet, or to anywhere in this universe. If you find that your conscious desires require wanting to harm someone or something, then you know that is your subconscious programming that is acting out, and we want to evolve that programming to the highest perspective. So, conscious co-creating means having an intention, having a desire that is fueled by love, that we will then bring into manifestation through taking that desire and utilizing our mental faculties, our conscious mind, to be able to make it happen. And we have to align our subconscious programming with our conscious will in order to be able to co-create effectively and efficiently in this world. That means being able to go back to the time in the womb and the first 7 years of life, and to utilize the opportunity through tools, and I offer lots of tools through my multidimensional coaching programs, to be able to detoxify and then reprogram and then align that new programming with the conscious will. And that is where you start to be able to co-create in this world the very things that bring you the greatest joy, that I would call are your personal paradise being manifested into a physical reality. It's where thoughts become things, but they are the highest thoughts becoming things rather than your lower thoughts becoming things. So if we just take law of attraction, what you focus on grows. If you are constantly focused on the fear of being ill, on some level you will co-create illness because you are geared towards it. That is what you are wanting to energize. If you are seeking to co-create a loving relationship, then you will co-create that if you are willing to meet your resistance with love. So I see as a co-creator 5 steps that really support us to stay in alignment with the highest good of all and the win-win-win in everything. And basically the process is you need to have an intention. This is part of conscious co-creating. You then need to know where that intention is fueled from. Is it coming from love or is it coming from your ego? Now, it doesn't actually matter if it's coming from your ego because it's still going to bring you some level of pleasure, which is going to raise your vibration, which ultimately you could say is also part of your divine self. However, if you feel bad and you have judgment towards your ego desires, you will deprogram. You will not allow yourself to manifest the very things you say you want. So knowing what you want and why you want it is very, very important before you take any practical steps to achieving it. And that's the 3rd step, is what are you going to do physically using your mental faculties and your senses to be able to make that happen in your reality. The fourth step is being willing to make a commitment to stay with your intention, to stay with the actions that you're going to take, even when you meet your own resistance. So when you have a desire, what is in conflict to that desire is going to come up, and we definitely need to recognize and acknowledge the stuff that comes up. And that means then to meet it with love, which is the fifth step. Okay, and this is bringing compassion to the resistance. Now, in all of this, when you love things up, which is what I do through my coaching work, you then allow compassion and forgiveness to be what leads the way for you. And this allows us to have the most dramatic impact on our physical environment, on ourselves, and our capacity to co-create in alignment with the highest good of all, which is what a conscious co-creator is. An ascended master in training, a divine human walking this earth, not just with a desire to co-create for the sake of it, but to co-create the highest good, the best outcomes for everybody. And that's for our whole planet and even within our universe. And this is where divine timing and divine will comes in. And I talk about surrendering ego will to divine will. This freaks people out because they think they're giving their power to an external authority. Divine will is your highest will. It's putting your higher self in charge. But if we believe our early conditioning, which means that there is good and there is bad, there is going to be a part of us that is too frightened to put our higher self in charge, because we believe that that higher self is a part of us that is austere, and a part of us that will suppress and deny aspects of our being in order to be able to serve the highest. And that is not the way things work. You've got to bring your shadow into the light. You've got to meet all aspects of yourself with love. And when you create a unifying whole around all the separated aspects of your being, that is when you start seeing real magic happen. Divine timing, divine will is all aspects of your being coming into full alignment. So if this is sounding exciting for you, I really recommend you check out my other videos. What is a starseed? And being able to tell the difference between a struggling and awakening starseed, and also what it means to be fearless, empowered and free, because this will really give you a sense of how I work with people to align them with their best version of themselves, the authentic truth that they want to live by, and not just being powerful co-creators or manifestors, but actually coming from the best possible place they can be. So this is not just about manifesting for the sake of it, out of consciousness. It is about bringing divine will, bringing love into absolutely everything we do. If you're enjoying the idea of that, then please hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notifications button, and join me for more of this, because this is my passion. Check out the text box. You'll find lots of information about how you can connect with me, and everything starts with a breakthrough call with me. So if you want to start this journey, get in touch, book your breakthrough call, and let's get moving on your divine design adventure. Namaste. Take care. So much love. Bye.